The distress beacon died with a pathetic wheeze, leaving Leo Martinez alone with the sound of his ragged breathing and the creaking hull of the Meridian Scout. Through the cracked viewport, twin purple suns hung low over an endless forest of crystalline trees that chimed softly in the alien wind. "Well," Leo muttered, checking his survival pack, "at least the atmosphere's breathable." He'd been charting unexplored sectors for the Terran expansion fleet when a gravitational anomaly had yanked him out of FTL like a fish on a hook. The planet, Zythra 7, according to his damaged scanner, wasn't supposed to be here. It didn't exist on any star charts. Leo sealed his flight suit and triggered the emergency hatch. It opened with a hiss, revealing a landscape that seemed to shimmer with bioluminescent fog. The crystalline trees rose hundreds of meters high, their faceted surfaces reflecting the dying light in kaleidoscope patterns. He'd barely taken 3 steps when the ground trembled. Something massive was approaching. Leo dove behind a fallen crystal log as a figure emerged from the forest. His breath caught in his throat. It was humanoid, distinctly female, but easily 20 feet tall. Her skin had a faint iridescent quality, shifting between shades of blue and silver. She wore garments that seemed woven from the same crystalline material as the trees, and her eyes glowed with an inner light as she surveyed the crash site. Intelligent life, not in the database, first contact protocol. But before Leo could activate his translator, 2 more giants emerged. Then 5. Then a dozen. They surrounded the Meridian Scout, examining it with obvious curiosity, their voices a melodic language that resonated in his chest. One of them, the first he'd seen, knelt near his hiding spot. Her massive hand reached toward the log. Leo's training kicked in. He stepped out, hands raised in the universal gesture of peace. "I come in peace, I mean no harm." 12 pairs of luminescent eyes fixed on him. The silence stretched for an eternity. Then the nearest giantess, she had markings like stars across her cheekbones, reached toward him with fingers the size of tree branches. Leo stood his ground, though every instinct screamed to run. The finger stopped inches from his face, and the giantess made a sound like wind chimes. His translator finally engaged. "So small, is it a child form?" "Fully grown," Leo said, his voice steady despite his hammering heart. "I'm Lieutenant Leo Martinez, Terran Exploration Corps. My ship malfunctioned. I need assistance to repair it and leave your world." The giantesses exchanged glances. The one with star markings spoke again, and this time Leo's translator rendered it clearly. "I am Bella, keeper of the eastern reaches. You have come at a dangerous time, small one. The consuming is upon us." "The what?" Bella gestured to the horizon where the purple suns were setting. "When darkness falls completely, the Voidwalkers emerge. They devour all they find. Your metal shell will not protect you, and you cannot outrun them." Leo glanced at his ship. The hull was breached in 3 places, the engine core was cold, and his emergency shelter wouldn't withstand anything more aggressive than rainfall. How long until full dark? 1 rotation of the smallest moon, perhaps 3 of your hours. Not enough time to repair the ship, not even close. "Then I'll need another option," Leo said. "Is there shelter, somewhere defensible?" Bella's expression, he was getting better at reading it, showed something like respect. "The crystalline halls in the deep heart of the forest, but the journey is perilous and you are so very small." "I'm also very determined," Leo replied, "and humans don't give up easily." A sound like laughter rippled through the gathered giants. Bella extended her hand, palm up. "Then climb, little warrior. We run for the halls." Leo hesitated only a moment before stepping onto her palm. The sensation of being lifted 30 feet in the air in 2 seconds was nauseating, but he forced himself to focus. Bella transferred him to her shoulder, where he gripped the crystalline fabric of her garment. "Hold tight," she warned, then she ran. The world became a blur of crystal and bioluminescent light. The giantesses moved with impossible grace, their long strides eating up miles. Leo clung to Bella's shoulder, wind whipping at his face as the forest streamed past. Behind them, something howled. Leo risked a glance back and immediately wished he hadn't. The Void Walkers were living shadows, formless masses that flowed between the crystal trees like oil on water. Where they touched the crystalline forest, the light died, leaving only corruption and darkness. "They're gaining," he shouted. "I know." Bella's voice was tight with effort. She called out to the others in her musical language, and the giantesses shifted formation, the fastest pulling ahead while the strongest fell back. One of the Void Walkers lunged, pseudopods of darkness stretching toward the rearguard. A giantess younger than Bella, with green-tinted skin, stumbled. The creature was upon her in an instant. "No," Bella skidded to a halt. Leo's mind raced. Human ingenuity, that's what HFY is all about. Think. He pulled his emergency flare gun from his pack. "Bella, the Void Walkers, do they fear light?" "Yes, but our lights are failing. The consuming drains them. This is pure chemical combustion, trust me." He aimed and fired. The flare streaked through the darkness and exploded in brilliant magnesium-white light. The Void Walker recoiled with a sound like reality tearing, its form dissipating. The young giantess scrambled to her feet. "More," Bella commanded. "Do you have more?" "3 left," Leo said, already loading the second. "But I have an idea. Get me to the halls. I can rig something." Bella didn't question. She ran, and the others followed, Leo firing flares at carefully calculated intervals to keep the Void Walkers at bay. The last flare bought them just enough time to reach a massive cave entrance, its walls studded with dimly glowing crystals. Inside, dozens of giantesses huddled together, their lights flickering. Children, still 10 feet tall, clung to their guardians. The entrance was barricaded with crystal logs, but Leo could see the darkness seeping through the cracks. "Your lights," Leo said urgently. "They're powered by what? Biological energy, ambient radiation." Bella nodded. "We draw from the planet's song, but the consuming silences it." "Show me your largest light crystal." She led him to the hall's center, where a massive crystal the size of a car dimmed with each passing moment. Leo pulled tools from his survival pack, designed for ship repairs but adaptable. His hands flew as he worked, cracking open his emergency battery, rigging a crude but functional connection. "Human technology doesn't rely on your planet's energy," he explained, sweat beading on his forehead. "We carry our own power, crude maybe, but independent." He completed the final connection and activated the battery. The crystal blazed to life, brilliant white light flooding the hall. The giantesses gasped as the illumination drove back the encroaching darkness. The Void Walkers at the entrance shrieked and retreated. But Leo wasn't finished. "I need reflective surfaces, anything that can amplify and direct this light." The giantesses moved with purpose now, bringing polished crystal shields, decorative mirrors, anything that could catch and focus the light. Leo directed their placement, creating a defensive perimeter that turned the halls into a lighthouse against the darkness. For 3 hours they held. The battery drained slowly, too slowly for the Void Walker's patience. As the first purple sun began to rise, the creatures retreated into whatever dimensional space they called home. Silence fell over the crystalline halls. Bella knelt beside Leo, who sat exhausted against his now-dead battery. "You saved us, small one, with your strange fire weapons and captured lightning." Leo managed a tired smile. "We humans are good at 2 things, adapting and refusing to die. It's kind of our whole deal." "Will you stay?" one of the younger giantesses asked. "Help us prepare for the next consuming." Leo looked at his hands, then at the crystal hall filled with beings 50 times his size who had accepted his help without hesitation. "I'll stay until we can rig a permanent solution. My ship's power core is damaged, but I can jury-rig it into something that'll keep your halls lit for years. After that, he glanced at Bella. After that, maybe I'll teach you how humans do things, and you can teach me about the planet's song." Bella's smile was radiant. A fair exchange, Leo Martinez of Terra. As the purple suns climbed higher, bringing light and life back to Zythra 7, Leo allowed himself a moment of satisfaction. He'd crashed on an unknown world, faced impossible odds, and survived not through superior strength, but through human ingenuity and the willingness to help others. Humanity, fuck yeah.